30th, last day of the month, and I want to greet all of you. My name is Donald. Everybody should know either family members or friends are in here. And I want to pass this out. Just take one and just give it around. Take notes, ask questions, participate. And if you see at the very top, it has something that's spoken on there. It says homework. And it also says, I think, turn in homework. And remember last week I said that every week we're going to have homework. Who remembers that? Raise your hand if you remember that. Okay, every week we're going to have homework. What was last week's homework? Did I assign any homework?
No.
Okay, this is an entrepreneur class, so I'm going to write this word down right here. Entrepreneur. I know you guys can spell it, but the reason why I'm writing it down, because when it comes down to entrepreneurship, it's good to see it, hear it, speak it. And the thing about entrepreneurship, if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, which means you work for yourself, no one's going to tell you to get up, no one's going to tell you to work, and no one's going to make any money for you. I wrote this word down here because this is what I'm trying to make you, or help you to become entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs. I said it yesterday or last week that every week we're going to have homework, and I assigned no homework. The homework was for you to come up with it yourselves and for it to make a difference in your own life. So if you didn't do any homework and you can't turn any homework in, last week you got an F, or this week you get an F. That means you didn't make any money. Now this class is not about, this is not just an educational class. This is not just a scholastic class. This is a class about making a difference in your life. So if you come here and you're not making any money, your credit scores are not going up, you're not incorporating, starting a partnership, some type of networking thing, you're not setting up a situation to where you're coming across persons who are willing to loan you money for your investments, and you're setting up the investments on the opposite side, then this is a waste of time for you, which means that you're not progressing. This is not a purely scholastic class. This is not a mental class. This is a make it happen type of class. And we're all going to interact, and we're all going to help each other get where we're trying to go. Once again, I'm going to pass out Wall Street journals. These Wall Street journals are old. It doesn't matter because they're full of information. They're full of financial information. I want you to read as much as you can of these Wall Street journals. Keep them, pass them out to someone else, or throw them away, because I want you to get used to the lingo, the language, what's being spoken. Make sure you get those. I know it's different. I know it doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense, and I know there's a lot of information in there. They speak about a lot of things that you don't understand. It's okay. Repetition brings what? We said it last week. These things, now look, right now it seems a little bit aggressive, a little bit frustrating, new, but as this class goes on, you'll find that I say the same things all the time. Repetition brings retention. Repetition brings retention. Repetition brings retention. So the more we go over these things, the more we go over these terms, the more they become familiar to you, because this is the jargon that they use in this industry. And not only that, when you really start to understand this, you can use your own creative mind to expand on it. So entrepreneurs are educated. You'll see that I have that here. Now these notes, even though there's an outline here, take your own side notes, put your own side notes in so that you fully so that I know that you understand the material, but also so that you know you understand the material. Entrepreneurs are self-motivated, which means if I don't assign homework this week, you got to come up with some homework for yourself that's applicable, that makes sense. Don't come up with something that's just purely so you can write it down. Come up with something that's going to actually help you move towards your goal. Okay. Let me share something with you, because this is something that struck me a few days ago. I asked someone to participate in this business class. I asked him to come. He's a teacher at a high school. He probably has a degree, likely he does. So when I asked him to come to the business class, he kind of felt offended. He says, well, I'm going to be teaching, right? And I said, yeah, sure. You know, I'm just playing with him. He says, I can't teach the business, but I can teach nonprofits. And nothing against the person, but let me share something with you. If someone comes and they're going to teach in this particular class right here, they've been rich or they are rich. I'm not going to let anybody else teach this class. They've been rich or they are rich, because I want you to have practical information that you can use. If you can't use it, I don't want it being spoken in here. I don't want somebody coming up here and sharing some information with you and they don't know what they're talking about other than what they read in a book. So I'll share this again with you. I haven't had 1 property, 2 properties, 3 properties, 4. I haven't had 10 properties or 20. I've had 30 properties in my life. Lost them all. So that's not a bad thing. That means that I have a lot of experience. And so with that, having that experience, I'm up here and I'm sharing that information with you in this class. 30 properties, over $3.5 million in real estate, $1 million in equity. Lost it. Lost it because of stupidity and just not knowing how to keep things. In this world of business, it is easy to get $1 million. And I'm not playing with you. It is easy to get $1 million. It is very hard to keep that $1 million. You're going to have to be motivated, you're going to have to be disciplined, and you're going to have a know-how to make what you get stay in your hands and multiply. Now, it's easy to get, hard to keep. This is the thing, though. The thing about entrepreneurship and successful entrepreneurs are that you have to move your foot just like this. Just like you got here today, and it wasn't easy today. You had all these different things going on, but you made it somehow today. Everything that you had going on today, multiply it and multiply it and multiply it. And that's what you're going to be faced up against when it comes down to making money on your own, thinking on your own. Now, I think I wrote this down last week. And I want to say it again. I'm going to write this dollar amount right here. If you are making $100,000 a year on a job, how much money are you losing every year? What's the formula that we use? Did we talk about this? Okay, we'll talk about it today. If you're making $100,000 a year on a job, how much money are you losing? If someone approached you today and said, I'll give you $100,000 to work for me for the next year, you would take it. Let's not even lie. Who would not take it? Everybody in this room would take it, except for myself. And the reason why, and I'm not making $100,000 a year, and I'll give you a little bit more on my history of what's going on, and it's important. 3.5 months out of prison. I've been out 3.5 months. In this 3.5 months since I've been out, I acquired a fiance, financed a vehicle with my fiance. My credit scores are over 700. Did this in 3 months. And I'm generating over $4,000 a month in my bank account. Now, I've done that in 3.5 months. 3.5 months, I made connections with people who are willing to write me a $900,000 check for real estate. I was doing a deal about a month ago for a piece of property that's worth about $2 million. Now, I have hard money on the opposite side was willing to write me a $900,000 check. I was asking for $500,000. Didn't need I was asking for $600,000 from this man. This man was ready to write me $900,000. I'm only 3.5 months out of the penitentiary. I have another individual who's connected to an investor that I do business for. I deal with his administrative side. He connected me to a man who won't give me less than $1 million. And I've done this, and I've acquired these contacts in less than 3.5 months. You can do the same thing. Now, the thing about real estate is you don't really need money to close on real estate. All you need is the information, and you need the guts. You need to be tough, because people are going to come and tell you that the industry's not like that right now, that real estate's not like that right now, that it's just recovering. And I'm going to tell you right now from experience, I know people that didn't stop making money when the real estate market went down. And there are people right now who are making a killing in the real estate market. It's all about you and what you want to put into this. And it's not just real estate, it's just life, life in general. So if you're making $100,000 a year, in general, your employer has to generate 10 times the dollar amount off of you to justify your employment. Which means that you're going to generate your employer $1 million if you're being paid $100,000. So if you're generating $1 million, put this $1 million here, I know I write terrible. How much did you lose? He's only giving you $100 grand for your services. $900,000. You generated this man $1 million, and he peeled you off $100 grand. Now it feels good because you have $100,000 in your pocket. But this is a consumer mentality that I want to kill in this class. What are we going to do to the consumer in this class? Kill the consumer. It sounds bad, but I want to murder that guy. I want to choke him by the throat, because if you come in here and you stay a consumer, you will not be able to understand what it is that I'm sharing with you. You won't see it. You won't get it. It won't make any sense. So I want to kill the consumer and bring to life the entrepreneur. Because the consumer will take this $100 grand and say, well, man, I can take that, I can flip it, I can use that money to invest in real estate. No, no, no. You could have done the same thing for yourself and had $1 million versus $100,000 to invest in real estate if you set up your own system. See, your employer has a system that works for him. There's nothing stopping you from setting up your system. There's technology. There's the social media. There's Facebook. There's LinkedIn. There's Twitter. There's people on Facebook right now showing their behinds and showing their tops and smiling and stuff like that. They're getting at people. They're not using that to make money. They're not using LinkedIn to make money. They're not using YouTube to make money. They're not using all these features to make money. Twitter, blog, that's all free. You can use those aspects. You can set up websites and use templates to be able to generate yourself traffic. There's a lot of things that you can do to make money in this atmosphere that we're in right now. You have full-time college students that are getting paid to go to college and not paying any of it back, not having to pay any of it back. Stay in junior college as long as you can. You know why? You won't have to pay that back. Junior college, you don't have to pay that back. It's all grants. So by the time you hit that 4-year university, guess what? If you did the junior college right, if you take that junior college time and you ace those programs, and you go above and beyond, and you get to know those professors, guess what happens when you apply for another college? You're an A student. Guess what you did while you were becoming an A student? You took out the time to build your credit. You took out the time to form a corporation. So now you are desired when you apply to that college because you're giving your background. I'm making $150,000 a year. I'm coming with A's. I'm coming with connections. They want you there. Now you're talking about grants. You're talking about scholarships. You're talking about not having to pay your way to college. And if you really hustle, you can get somebody else to pay your college or your business. And when I say your business, if I own real estate and I'm collecting rents, my tenants are going to pay my way to college. I'm not going to pay my way to college. That's how you have to think. So let's get back to what entrepreneurship is. I wrote down here, entrepreneurs are educated, they're disciplined, and they're prepared. What are the 5 Ps? I didn't write them down. Yeah, look at your notes. Look at your notes. Aggression. I wrote it. You should have wrote it down from last week. The 5 Ps. Only Mike wrote it down. Where's your better half?
She's
sleeping.
She's out right now.
She's tired.
Not feeling so good.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. This is an interesting class. Myself.